What's up, guys? Today we're doing a discussion about Spider-Man returning to Marvel Studios.
Okay, so I'm gonna just be straight up here. I did not give a rip one way or the other. I kind of did, but I wasn't as hyped about it as everyone else was. To me, this is more about Marvel than it is about Spider-Man, because I felt like Spider-Man didn't need Marvel to be successful. Now, people might say like the story or the character of Spider-Man has never been correctly portrayed. And I'll give you that argument if you want to make the argument. I'll give you that. But I still feel like Spider-Man, on its own right, is very successful without having Marvel.
Yeah.
And you know,
in theory, Spider-Man doesn't need Marvel. No.
Yeah.
Sony needs Marvel right now. Maybe because of their they're going through. But
I mean, general, even so though, those movies they've made weren't doing bad.
Oh yeah, really. I mean, really, they just lowered their production costs sometimes. They were just making mad profits and everything. Yeah. But really. I guess, first of all, this whole thing seemed impossible. Everybody was like, Spider-Man, get the rights back, Marvel, everyone's come back to the MCU, and I don't never believe that it was possible for it to happen. It just seemed like some kind of deal could be worked out where Sony would ever get rid of Spider-Man, would ever share. Then the leaked emails came out that said it was a possibility. It was like, really? And then it seemed like it fell through. It's like, okay, well, whatever. And then it just happened. Just woke up one day and it was just like, oh, it just happened. I'm never online when the big announcements happen. I miss Star Wars. I just came on the internet one day, it was like Star Wars episode 7, 8, and 9 announced. LucasArts sold Star Wars and sold itself to Disney. I'm like, what is going on? I'm never around when this stuff happens. Ben Affleck as Batman. I'm always off the internet. That's come on. I just see the internet explode and stuff. But anyway, so Spider-Man. So I saw this and I was like, okay, this is amazing. I can't believe this is happening, but it's happening. So the same thing's going to show up in Civil War. Get a little fan poster, I guess, here. Spider-Man here is a Marvel Civil War. So I don't know if that's legit for sure happening. I mean, a source said that that's what's happening. He's going to be in Civil War. All in all, is it good for the Marvel Universe? Marvel Universe doesn't need Spider-Man. MCU doesn't need Spider-Man, really.
You don't think the Marvel Universe needs Spider-Man?
No, it's proven that it doesn't need it.
Oh, to be successful,
Now, I feel like he'd be very helpful coming up to introduce a new generation of superheroes, because Robert Downey Jr. will not stay forever. Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, they're going to near the end of their contracts and their time wanting to play these characters. So you're going to need people to take over. And Spider-Man is perfect. I would say it's perfect timing for Spider-Man. I don't think they need him, but it will be a great way to reinvigorate.
How do you think he's going to fit with the current Avengers cast, though?
I mean, I have no concerns about it because Marvel always just knocks everything out of the park. But I mean, I don't know. I'm assuming he's going to be like a mini Tony Stark. I mean, it depends on what they're going for Civil War. People were like, he needs to be Civil War. Spider-Man is an integral part of Civil War arc in the comics. He was, but
this is the movie universe. So
so and thinking about what made Spider-Man's stuff so pivotal in that was his established nature within the universe. He is established, he's going to be introduced in Civil War. If he's in Civil War, he'll be introduced in that, and it's not going to carry weight.
The only way it would work is if they brought over what Sony has already built. And they don't want to do that. If they brought like Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man over to it, you already have the established character. And they have to now redo his origin story, which, gosh darn, I'm so tired of seeing.
Well, apparently they do want to skip over to telling it at this time. But even still, the idea is that the main thing about Civil War, without spoiling it, in case you never read the comics and you don't want the movie plot spoiled, even though they'll probably change it. But the big thing on Civil War was Spider-Man had the heart and soul of it, because it was like between Captain America and Iron Man fighting with this registration thing. And Spider-Man was being pulled between both sides, and he switches sides throughout the story arc. And there's a big reveal. He does a big thing in the middle, middle of it. But the big thing is his relationship with Captain America and Iron Man. And so basically trying to tell this story of Peter Parker, Spider-Man's struggle between both sides, his respect for both of these people who he sees as mentors or as heroes he looks up to. It's gonna be hard to tell, I think, without having him established before. Is it impossible? No, but I don't think it's necessary, really.
They might have to make him come in as a fanboy of Tony Stark. Because I know for like the other movies and his character, like in cartoons and comics, his idol was Norman Osborn in some cases, as well as Dr. Octavius and the professor who was the lizard guy.
Wow. Yes. Well, at least in all the movies, But
so since we have seen the trend that he has these idols of science and smart people that he looks up to, they could possibly make Tony Stark or Bruce Banner one of those guys that he looks to in the Avengers, and also maybe Captain America for what he represents.
Just being a hero and all that stuff.
So yeah.
So I don't know what the plot will be. It'll have to be very different from the comics, but you know. But just in general, Spider-Man is just MCU. I'm excited to see what happens. Now Kevin Feige is going to be heavily involved with Sony's movies now. So so it's supposed to make those movies better. And I don't know.
Here's my only thing. This is kind of going off on a tangent. This is my problem with it. I don't think it's such a good thing for everything to be connected. Now, most people might be mad about that. But the reason why it's different from a live action thing from comics is comics are drawn things that you can control. Whatever you want to happen and do to these things, you can do. You can do that in a movie, but you have to depend on these living human beings to be there forever. Now, I'm not saying I'm not speaking on anything bad on anyone, but stuff happens. Maybe someone. It doesn't have to be as a negative as someone dying or something, but maybe somebody can't show up to shoot. Maybe this is conflict. Or maybe someone's just done. Maybe this person quits, you know. Maybe Kevin Feige just one day just says, you know what, I'm done. And oh, well, there goes the whole connection stuff we've been doing. So the fact that I liked it when everything's more spread out because everyone can kind of do their own thing. We don't have to have everything so connected like that. I know comic fans love that, and they've been making it work so far with movies, but I feel like you can also tie your hands together doing it that way.
Yeah, you know, you can. And Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has proven that it can sometimes hurt because they were limited for a while.
Exactly.
Until they were able to do the whole reveal when Winter Soldier came out, the Hydra and all that stuff.
And it was obvious that for a long time that show was hurting, you know, waiting for Captain America 2 to come out, waiting for that. As soon as that came out, now we can do something. As a creator, that would drive me insane. Now I know that you know, it was Joss Whedon doing in charge of both of those. But if I was just like another creator and I had to wait on that, that would make me super angry because my hands are locked in, tied. I can't do what I want to do. I have to wait for this movie to be finished being done. Yeah.
So also, what do you think this means going forward? Some people want Fantastic Four, X-Men to return to Marvel.
All of their stuff.
There's no reason for X-Men to return. X-Men should return. X-Men's doing well right now. It wasn't for a while, but now it's doing really good. I'm cool with X-Men staying where it is. Fantastic Four, I guess. I mean, I don't really care, but I mean, it really no need for that.
I think because you're gonna keep bringing in all these casts. Maybe they can do it because they proved if they keep bringing them together, like you have to bring X-Men with the Avengers, Fantastic Four with the Avengers. I feel like you're gonna have too many pieces revolving if you try to put them all in one movie. Now, if they do standalone different stuff and maybe someone pops up here and there, okay.
I mean, it does open more possibilities, but it's also, it'll feel a little more forced. It's cooler with them working with with some of the B-listers, you know. They have access to a lot of the B-listers. They don't have Wolverine. They didn't have Spider-Man. So they had to work with a lot of their B-listers and make them bigger and better. We got Guardians of the Galaxy, we got Thor, cool stuff. So it really made the stretch of creativity. With someone having like Spider-Man and having X-Men, I mean, there's no reason to think that they wouldn't succeed with it because they've succeeded with everything else. I'm not just saying, oh, it's going to be terrible. But it just feels unnecessary. And don't mess with what's working. You know, don't change the formula. Don't try to fix what's not broken. You can see who's doing fine. There's no need for them to have everything under one umbrella. And there's something to be said about creativity of other people having different things. Now, so far, men have gotten the best Spider-Man movies. Maybe not getting the best Fantastic Four movies. Okay, so yeah, you can see that, okay, maybe be better under Marvel Studios. But that's not necessarily that it has to be under Marvel Studios. It needs to be under good directors and good writers. Like X-Men is doing good. You just need good storytellers, that's all. In conclusion, I suppose, Spider-Man's back. It's pretty cool. Good for everyone involved who made that happen. It'll probably make everyone involved a lot of money.
Yeah,
I'm sure it will.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you'll definitely make more money.
Yeah. Feel bad for Andrew Garfield. I liked him. I did. I
did. Everyone's arguing about his Spider-Man. I'm going to make a comment about this. Everyone's arguing that his Peter Parker was not a good Peter Parker. Fine, I'm not going to argue that. But he was the best Spider-Man. And whatever Marvel does, please make sure that Spider-Man is a scientist and has scientific.
I feel like there's a better chance of that being focused on because they'll tie their environment.
Then that's fine for me. And I have no complaints, you know. If you want to make Peter Parker geeky and he has to have buck teeth and broken glasses and trip over himself like he's Clark Kent, fine.
But look though. Okay, so this is weird. Our friend, the guy who did our skit with us, at Josh Reels, who did a skit with us, Piracy skit back, he was on Facebook and he shared an article about it was an article, I forget what the site was, but it was an argument in favor of why Tobey Maguire should come back as Spider-Man in the MCU. When I first saw the headline for the article, I was like, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. This is stupid. There's no way you can make an argument for why that would be a good idea. But it was so ridiculous that I had to read it to see what points they were making. By the end of the article, I was swayed to possibly maybe agree with it. I was like, dang it, I can actually kind of see what they're saying here. So I'm going to try to remember to put the link in the description of this video.
Wrap it up in one concise reason why.
I feel like I'm not going to do it justice. You have to read it. I'm not going to say anything. You just have to read. You have to read the article. You read the article all the way through, and I was sitting there like, I could see this. I could see why this would work.
This article.
You kind of have to have some background on the Civil War arc, the storyline in comics. If you don't, you might not see why. You'd be like,
I would just say this: why the heck are webs coming out of your wrist? That makes no sense to me.
They can retcon that. That's not a big deal.
That makes no sense.
They can retcon that.
No, I mean that's just one of my main issues with that Spider-Man. Why?
I don't think that's the biggest issue.
That's just one of the issues.
I mean,
and then the fact that he never did anything scientific ever. Never once. Never once did he fix any problem by using science.
well, he kind of.
Never once. Nothing. If I'm wrong, point it out to me. But never once did I ever see anything.
I know what people would use as examples, but it's not really good defenses.
What would be the
more
examples?
Like at the end, the way he flooded the thing with Doc Ock, but that was more like Doc Ock's because of Doc Ock's semi.
Because I would figure, oh, if I flood this thing with water, then yeah, maybe. But that's not science. That's just I don't know what to do.
No way. He was asking Doc Ock how to stop it, and Doc Ock told him,
flood it.
Oh, he figured out how to use sound to stop Venom at the end of part 3. How to.
Because if you happen to bump into the thing, see him fall back, like whatever, and start screeching, how did he find that out? Was it like because he saw him?
Well, he was in the bell tower.
And he bumped to the bell.
Yeah, and he was like,
okay, yeah, I could do that, and I have no scientific knowledge of anything whatsoever. So he was just a regular geeky guy who got bit by a spider.
Well, he was also into science because he went to Doc Ock because he read all his papers.
Yeah, I could pick up a paper and read it and be a fan. I mean, anyone could do that. Anybody could do that. God.
Right.
Tobey Maguire's the best, man. Get that out of here.
Read the article. I think
Peter Parker, that's too integral. If all you're focusing on is his geekiness, get out of here.
Spider-Man's back in the MCU. Are you excited? Are you not?
I'm
Choose.
cool with that.
Choose a
Tobey
side.
Maguire. No.
Civil War.
God, no. That's fine. You can have Tobey Maguire. I don't care. I just want to watch the movies. If I see a web shooterless Spider-Man, I will lose it.
We'll watch them because we can take it.
I will lose my everything on all the things. And I'll be extremely upset.
Bye, guys.
Web shooters. Come on, man. Come on. Do you really want to see Spider-Man cry all the time?
Spectacular.
That should be the Spider-Man. You need to cast that guy. You need to cast the animated character who played that Peter Parker. That was good. You might want to learn the words. That might be good thing to do. Let me do the other part.
Spectacular Spider-Man.